This is the London Visited podcast on your favourite podcast provider, bringing to you the facts, history and information about different parts of this great capital. If you have been to London, are planning on visiting, live here or just love London from afar, then this is the podcast for you.
Hi there, I'm Steve and welcome to our podcast. We're here for all things London and to tell you more behind some of the iconic places and people in London's history. And in this episode, we go to Tottenham Court Road. Don't forget to visit and subscribe to our YouTube channel, London Visited, to see videos covering this place and so many others across London. And now to this week's podcast. Tottenham Court Road, occasionally abbreviated as TCR, is a major road in central London, almost entirely within the London Borough of Camden. The road runs from Euston Road in the north to St Giles's Circus in the south. Tottenham Court Road tube station lies just beyond the southern end of the road. Historically a market street, it became known for selling electronics and white goods in the 20th century. The street takes its name from the manor, estate, of Tottenham Court, whose lands lay towards the north and west of the road, in the parish of St Pancras. Tottenham Court Road, where it starts at Euston Road in the north and stops at St Giles's Circus, which is the junction of Oxford Street and Charing Cross Road at the southern end. The road has a distance of about 3/4 of a mile, 1.2 kilometres. South of Torrington Place, originally Francis Street, the road marks the traditional boundary of the parishes of St Pancras, of which the manor of Tottenham Court Road was part, to the west, and St Giles to the east. Due to long-standing shared administrative arrangements, St Giles is often described as part of Bloomsbury. North of Torrington Place, both sides of the road are in St Pancras. The term Fitzrovia was first coined in the late 1930s as an informal description for some of the surrounding area. Tottenham Court Road is sometimes used to distinguish Fitzrovia to the west from Bloomsbury to the east, St Giles often being thought of as part of Bloomsbury. Fitzrovia has never had any formal limits applied, and its informal extent is sometimes also said to extend further east to Gower Street, thus potentially overlapping with more formal definitions applied to St Giles and Bloomsbury. The south end of the road is close to the British Museum and also to Centrepoint, the West End's tallest building. There are a number of buildings belonging to the University College London along the road, and the University College Hospital is near the north end of the road. The origin of the road's name is said it comes from the manor of Tottenham Court. The manor house lay just to the north of the road's junction with the Euston Road. The first surviving record of the manor is as Tottenham, a charter from around AD 1000, where the initial actually is pronounced TH to start with, may have been mistaken by a scribe who should have perhaps just used a T, but all subsequent records use the initial T. The manor was subsequently described as Tottenham in the Domesday Book of 1086. The area was described as Tottenham in 1184 and Tottenham Court by 1487. Although the road's name has a similar route to Tottenham in the London Borough of Hackney, they're not directly related. The manor occupied to the southwestern part of the parish of St Pancras, whose boundaries are now used to delineate most of the southwest of the wider modern London Borough of Camden, of which St Pancras is the principal component. South of Torrington Place, Tottenham Court, and therefore St Pancras, lay between Tottenham Court Road and what is now the borough boundary with the city of Westminster. North of Torrington Place, Tottenham Court, and hence also St Pancras, occupy both the east and west sides of the road. The manor house lay just to the north of what is Euston Road, which wasn't built until 1756. The manor is also mentioned in the Domesday Book as belonging to the dean and chapter of St Paul's Cathedral. In the time of Henry III, 1216 to 1272, a manor house slightly northwest of what is now the corner of Tottenham Court Road and Euston Road belonged to one William de Tottenham. In about the 15th century, the area was known variously as Tottenham, or Totting Hall. After changing hands several times, the manor was leased for 99 years to Queen Elizabeth, and it became popularly called Tottenham Court. In 1639, the land was leased to Charles I until his execution 10 years later, when it was sold to Ralph Harrison. It regained crown ownership upon restoration of the monarchy, where it was given a 41-year lease to Charles II. The manor became the property of the Fitzroys, who built Fitzroy Square on part of the manor estate towards the end of the 18th century. There was a manor house at the northwest end of the road. This subsequently became the Adam and Eve pub. This was demolished to build what is now the Euston Tower, Tottenham Court Road had become a place of entertainment by the mid-17th century. In 1645, 3 people were fined for drinking on a Sunday. A gooseberry fair was held sporadically throughout the century and featured numerous booths with street entertainers. The Horseshoe Brewery was established in 1764 on the junction of Tottenham Court Road and Oxford Street. The current Horseshoe pub was built in the 19th century. Whitefield's Tabernacle was built in 1756 for the Reverend George Whitefield, and subsequently became the world's largest Methodist church after it was extended in 1760. It was rebuilt in 1857 after being destroyed by a fire, and again in 1888 after the building collapsed. It was bombed during World War II and rebuilt as a memorial chapel. Tottenham Court Road was predominantly rural in nature until well into the 19th century, when Hills was established on former farmland, and lease stipulated there must be appropriate accommodation for 40 cows. These cowsheds were destroyed in a fire in 1877. A 17th century farmhouse near the rear of number 196 Tottenham Court Road was demolished in 1917. During the period leading up to and during World War I, an amusement arcade that contained a miniature rifle shooting range called Fairyland was at number 92 Tottenham Court Road. In 1909, Madin Lal Dhingra practiced shooting here prior to his assassination of Sir William Hutt Curzon Wiley. Other residents of India House practiced shooting at the range and rehearsed assassinations they planned to carry out. Also, in 1909, it was reported in a police investigation that the range was being used by 2 suffragettes, in possible conspiracy to assassinate the Prime Minister H. Asquith. The shooting range was owned and run by Henry Stanton Morley, 1875 to 1916. The road was, for many years, a one-way street. All 3 lanes were northbound only. The corresponding southbound traffic used the parallel Gower Street to the east. The new 2-way traffic flows on Tottenham Court Road and the surrounding streets, which was fully completed in March 2021. The road is served by 3 stations on the London Underground. From the south to the north, these are Tottenham Court Road, Goode Street and Warren Street, and by numerous bus routes. When it opens, the Elizabeth line is expected to increase passenger traffic at Tottenham Court Road by 40%. The Dominion Theatre opened in 1929 on the site of the old Horseshoe Brewery on Tottenham Court Road. It became a cinema in 1932, before reverting to being a theatre. It has a capacity of 2,000. Tottenham Court Road is a significant shopping street, best known for its high concentration of consumer electronics shops, which range from shops specialising in cables and computer components to those dealing in packaged computers and audio-video systems. Further north, there are several furniture shops, including Habitat and Hills. Another well-known store was the furniture maker Maple & Co. In the 1950s and 1960s, Tottenham Court Road and a few of the adjoining streets became well known for stores selling World War II surplus radio and electronics equipment and all kinds of electromechanical and radio parts. Shops such as Proops Brothers, established in 1946, lined both sides of the road at that time. By the 1960s, they were also selling Japanese transmitter radios, audio mixers and other electronic gadgets. Many British-made valve stereos were offered too. In the early 21st century, the growth of e-commerce has reduced the importance of electronics retailing in the area, and cafes and fashion stores like Primark have become more prevalent. Whilst Tottenham Court Road still has some specialist furniture and electronics retailers, it is now becoming more of a general business district. However, some of the original electronics stores on Tottenham Court Road still trade, such as House of Computers, well known in the area for offering a range of computers and accessories. Opposite Habitat and Hills is a small public open space called Whitfield Gardens, built on the former site of a chapel. On the side of the house is a painting, the Fitzrovia mural, which is about 20 metres over 60 feet high and shows many of the people at work and at leisure. It was painted in 1980 in a style resembling that of Diego Rivera. The mural has suffered from neglect and has been daubed with graffiti. There is a proposal to restore the mural after the current works to renovate the gardens are completed. In 2005, 12 so-called hourglass panels were erected in the gardens. Each is about 5 foot 1.5 metres high, with 2 sides showing a collage of people associated with the area, from satirical cartoonist Hogarth to the popular singer Boy George. There is a 13th panel showing an index of the people depicted. In the Lerner Loewe musical My Fair Lady, Tottenham Court Road is mentioned as the place where Eliza Doolittle sells her flowers. Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical Cats references the area in a song, the lyrics coming from an unpublished poem fragment by T.S. Eliot. Tottenham Court Road Station was also replicated as part of the set for the Queen musical We Will Rock You, which played at the Dominion Theatre between 2002 and 2014, directly above the actual underground station. So, I hope you've enjoyed our look at Tottenham Court Road and its way view back through history where it was farmland. And I wonder if it's still on a lease that you have to make way for the cows. Anyway, if you'd like to make contact with us or suggest any other places to feature in future podcasts, you can let me know through our website, www.londonvisited.co.uk, or through our social media channels. It really is that easy. Thanks for listening. Really hope you enjoyed our podcast, and we'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.
Thanks for listening, and please don't forget to subscribe to get more shows direct to your device. Also, why not visit our London Visited YouTube channel to get even more of London. Catch you soon on the next one.